Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you, and welcome back to yet another gadget test. If you have missed my previous gadget testings, I have a very long playlist including vintage gadgets and retro gadgets and gadgets that kind of just don't make any sense. Be sure to check them out and subscribe if you're not subbed already. So today we are going to be testing out a pizza peel. A peel is a often wooden or metal flat device used to transfer pizza doughs to an oven or from different surfaces. I use a wooden one that I picked up at the thrift store. I've been using it for years, but this one I'm going to be testing is a little bit different. It uses a piece of material, thin kind of plasticky silicone material I'm imagining, and it is flat and you move it like you would move a conveyor belt, and it's supposed to slide underneath the pizza dough effortlessly and allow you to transfer your dough anywhere you like. Now, I first saw this technology many years ago, probably about 10 years ago, and it was shown to pick up mustard off a surface, just mustard squirted onto a countertop, which we will try. We'll try a squirty material, and then this conveyor belt like thing was able to pick up the wet mustard off the surface of the countertop and remove it, seemingly like magic. But recently I've seen this same technology applied to the pizza peel. So I proceeded to research it, and like most people, I went to Amazon and I found it. So here it is. So it arrived in this bubble wrapped envelope, and I paid $20 for this. So dun, 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 here it is. This is called the sliding pizza peel, and here it is. Now, I have to say I'm not too impressed by the packaging. Did not come with any kinds of instructions. It does not feel a very good build quality. It looks like it's a laser cut piece of plywood for the handle and the base of the peel, and then a laser cut handle here, and then some sort of flimsy non-stick material. Doesn't feel very sound, but the way you work it is that you have your pizza dough here, and then you put this underneath your pizza dough, and it's supposed to just transfer onto here without messing up your dough. The problem is your pizza dough, when it's raw, it's very squishy and soft and thin and kind of just not cooperative when it comes to transferring because of just the nature of its geometry. It's floppy, it's wide, and so it has no support. So typically what I would do is I would build my pizza on a wooden pizza peel, and then I would use that peel and then shake it into my oven onto a pizza stone. And that does take some practice. There's definitely a learning curve, but based on what I've seen on this, I think there's a bit of a learning curve using this as well. I already see some fraying here on this material. Yeah, I'm not impressed. The handle does not feel all that ergonomic because it's just laser cut plywood, so it doesn't feel good in your hands. It's kind of sharp, not very friendly, but you could use it if you're either left or right-handed. So it's got that going for it. I'm gonna give this a quick wash before we use it, and let's go ahead and build ourselves a pizza. So I've just got a few toppings here. I've got some ready-made dough, and I'm gonna use a little bit of flour on my work surface, just like I would do anytime I'm making pizza. I always try to store some pizza dough in the freezer. It makes for a really fast dinner, and a delicious one at that. So this is how I like to shape my pizza. Just go around the perimeter and get kind of a rough circle shape. So I've developed a wheat sensitivity, as some of you may know. So these days I don't eat much pizza, but I still make it for my family. So I like to stretch it out a bit before I use my fists. I'm gonna go around and stretch the dough, and I leave it a little bit thicker around the perimeter, so there's a bit of a crust. And just like that, you have that's probably about a 12-inch dough. All right, I should make it a little bit smaller so it fits on the peel. And that should fit on the peel, yes. For sauce, I'm just using jarred tomato sauce. This is what I always use. Use whatever you like. on your pizza. I just find this is easy. And often when we have pizza, it's one of those easy nights. Next, we do cheese. I usually grate it myself because I usually have some kind of cheese in the fridge, and I just grate whatever I've got. For example, I believe this is Monterey Jack. Use, again, whatever cheese you like. Okay, next I'm gonna add some onions. And then I've got some red bell pepper. I feel like making pizza is a great opportunity to clear out your fridge, you know? Like whatever toppings you've got in there. So now I'm gonna add some mushrooms because I love mushrooms. I really like to bake my pizzas on a baking steel. You can use a pizza stone, but I feel like it gets a really nice crust underneath. I feel like that's a big secret. And I got a couple more mushrooms. So this is a pretty loaded pizza. And now I'm gonna add some spinach. I'm just gonna tear it up. It's kind of like what you would do with basil, but spinach instead. Makes it very colorful, doesn't it? Basil would be nice, but I don't have any. And when I put on basil, I like to put it on after I've baked my pizza because basil tends to go dark when you cook it. And I like it to be nice and vibrant, so for as long as possible. So spinach, mushroom, onion, peppers. Beautiful. Oh, got a little extra cheese, so I'll add that on top too. Alrighty lovelies, moment of truth behind me. I have my oven preheated to 450 degrees and I have a little mini baking steel in there that's been heating up as well. It's important to let that heat up for about an hour if you've got it, because that'll give your crust a nice crispness. If you don't have enough time, it doesn't do such a good job at giving you that crispy crust, because you need to have that steel nice and hot. But we'll just have to see. Alrighty, sliding peel. Now we've got to slide this down to the down position, and I'm grateful that there are lots of videos on people using this, because I would have no idea how to use it, because this came with no instructions whatsoever. No welcome to your sliding pizza peel, nothing. It's just, here you go, figure it out. All right, so we are in the down position, and I think the trick is, rather than just kind of pulling this back and expecting the pizza to get onto the peel, you really have to slide. Use your right hand, your dominant hand, to slide underneath it and get under it, just like you would a typical peel. I think that's the secret. Ready, here we go. It worked, mostly. I need to slide it a little more. But that was for the first time. I've got some hanging offage, some floppage here. So I'm gonna, scooch it back on. It did pick it up. Okay, let's just transfer it, because apparently you can transfer it too. All right, it just snagged in the corner. That was not successful. Now this is how we're transferring it, and look at this. This is bad. This is misaligned. Let's transfer this off, and it's not transferring. Oh my God, I'm gonna tear it. Sheesh. Oh, this is a failure. Now how do I take it off? Okay, look what it did. It shredded, or look what I did. I totally shredded it right here because it misaligned and it jammed. Not good. Okay, that was my first time, and my pizza is now an oblong. Okay, let's try picking it up again. All right, here we go. Okay, that was better. Got the whole pizza on there, and now I'm gonna do the same thing and try to transfer it into my oven. There's my steel. Let's see if I can transfer this. Okay, that actually went all right, except it fell off a little bit on this side. Should have went a little bit farther in, but it transferred all right. All right, so the transfer actually went all right. So while the pizza's baking, let's see if the sliding peel can pick up some sriracha off my countertop. Okay, this is weird. I'm gonna just take some sriracha and just, I'm so skeptical. All right, put it in this bottom position, and then we're just gonna push this forward. All right, ready? Here we go. How do I do it? What? It totally worked. Oh my gosh. It wasn't graceful. This is the third time I've used it, but it worked. I mean, why would I ever use this for this application? I have no idea. I don't know. Okay, rinse this off and let's see if we can pick up the rest. What? This is weird. All right, so let's try it again. Put this in the down position and then push. It totally works. There it is. There's a tiny bit of residue here, but for the most part, it picked it up. Wow. I am impressed despite the poor build quality. I'm impressed. It works. And now we use our dish towel to get any other residual sriracha off the counter. Wow. I've seen it in videos. You know, you just have to experience it for yourself. That's the whole mentality for me. It works. When I would ever use this in that application, never, but I got to try it. Alrighty, my lovelies, the pizza is done. Let's get it out of the oven. I didn't want to use the sliding peel in the oven because, first of all, I don't know about this material. I don't know what it's made out of. I don't know if it's heat proof. And also pushing it, I didn't want to risk pushing my pizza into the back of the oven. So I just used a pair of tongs and dragged it onto a cutting board like I usually do when I make pizza. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Just out of curiosity, let's see if it would work. Look. Nope. Oh. Yeah, it would work. So it does work, but it does take some coordination and a ton of practice. So I'm not sure how else you would require that practice unless you're using real world application of your precious pizza you're making. I could imagine a lot of frustration that could occur from user error or just user learning curve using this thing. You know what I mean? I suppose the same thing could be said of a typical peel too. There's a definite learning curve sliding the pizza off a regular peel too, but I don't know. Those really thin metal ones work pretty nicely too. Alrighty, my pizza is languishing. It's time to cut. So my stone wasn't quite hot enough. Usually I get some good bubbling with my pizza dough crust, but I didn't because I didn't have my stone quite hot enough. But it still feels crisp and definitely looks good. Alrighty, let's cut this up. Look at that. Piping hot and beautiful. Alrighty, let's give our pizza a taste. Itadakimasu. So hot. Usually my crust is a little darker than this. And the crust is a little bit thicker than I like. I like it a little bit thinner, so it's a little bit more crunchy, but I couldn't make a pizza any larger to accommodate this peel. This is only about 12 inches in diameter. So that's another limitation of this peel, is that its width is kind of narrow, but I don't know, pretty good pizza. Alright, my lovelies, there you have it. The sliding pizza peel, 100% not worth it in my opinion. Build quality is not very good. I've already wrecked the side here. And in my opinion, the learning curve is really not worth attempting because the results are pretty, while satisfying in some respects for video making perhaps, for everyday use, I think there would be lots of potential for frustration. And yeah, it's just not a very well made thing. And there are simpler and better tools in my opinion. Alrighty, my lovelies, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye. Alrighty, one more bite, just one more bite.